What's up, guys? Welcome to what I hope is a quick update video, but of course, knowing myself, it won't be quick, but I'll try to at least be quick in the beginning for those of you who just want to hear what's up and then GTFO. I'm in the deck builder because I figured I should do this in a safe environment for you guys. So we're in Gwent. Just to let you know, I'm still playing Gwent. We're still doing Gwent. Okay, as you can see, it's still here. I have my decks. I've refreshed my trinkets to be a very handsome leprechaun poet on tour, apparently. So, hi. Just wanted to do a little bit of an update in case some of you are a little bit confused about, what is happening with the channel and the content and the Gwents and the stuff. So I'm just going to address, some recent events. They're not really events, but just, I'm just going to talk about stuff. It's an update video. It's what it is. So, as you know, before the patch, I took 2 weeks off. 2 weeks, no videos. And that's fine. Like, that was just to take a break from Gwent. Obviously, we had an expansion, and as always, with Gwent's expansions, it breaks the game in many ways, and 2 months with no patch is really, really hard, especially for someone less competitive, like me, someone who's more casual and wants to have fun and, of course, make fun, entertaining content. It's pretty bad when we go 2 months with no patch, right after a lot of busted stuff was put in the game. And then we got the patch, and I made a video, played Shoop's Ritual, and that was fun. A lot of you actually seemed to really enjoy the deck. I enjoyed the deck. It was a fun video. I enjoyed making it, and you know what? I was happy. Like, okay, we're back. Things are back to normal. Everything's good. But it quickly went downhill from there. And I realized that while the patch did some good things, for example, the Novigradian Justice change, I think is really clever, really good. Makes it better in Syndicate, where it was, good, but not nearly as good as it was in Scoia'tael. It keeps it good in Dwarves, which is what it's meant to support, and it makes it worse in no unit decks, which I really don't want to have access to something like this. I'm also a big fan of all these gold locks being buffed to 6 provisions alongside some tech cards like Xavier and Nivellen. I'm a big fan of that change. I think even like the gold purifies could be 6 provisions, make them more accessible. I think 6 provision is a very interesting slot. I think it's an underutilized slot, and I think it's a good slot for tech cards, locks, purifies, smaller things like that. So the patch did some good things, but it didn't do all the things that I really wanted and also kind of needed. If you've been on Reddit, like, you've seen the complaint threads, like, Lockdown and Colgrim and Viper was your mentor, all that stuff. And I'm not going to sit here and complain about that stuff. But if you're curious, I think Lockdown is fine. Like, if you're curious about my opinion, I think Lockdown is fine. But it is a leader that should never be as prevalent as it is, because it is inherently unfun. But I think it's fine. And in metas where it's rare to see Lockdown, playing against it, on a rare occasion is actually kind of interesting. So I think Lockdown is fine. But it shouldn't be this prevalent. And I think there are 2 main reasons for its prevalence. One is, of course, V, Lippy, all these decks that have been really oppressive and are abusing some sort of mechanic and using their leader as a big part of that. Lockdown shuts it down nicely. It also does a decent job shutting down other decks, so it's just a good leader in that sense. But the other thing that's carrying Lockdown, I think, is just, you know, certain Nilfgaard cards. You know, we had Masquerade Ball, that was more, you know, pre-expansion and right after the expansion. And now, of course, it is Colgrim. Now, I could do an entire video on just Colgrim. I don't think this card is okay. I know there are so many answers to it. Like, you can reset it, destroy it. Curse of Corruption bypasses Defender. You can play Uncreate Longship. Geralt Urden, Geralt Igni. There are many, many counters to this. I will not deny that. But the fact that you have to have one of those counters, or your opponent gets a 30, 40 point card for 9 provisions, like, it shouldn't be practically auto lose if you don't have a direct counter to one card. I don't think Gwent needs 9 provision cards that can easily exceed 30 points, and in just a few turns, right? Like 3 turns, 2 to 3 turns. This gets more value than, you know, other engines. You know, Sheetroll of Vergen, you know, other engines get in a 10 card round. So it's something needs to change about this, and I'm upset that they didn't change anything. And also Viper with your mentor, it was always a stupid card, but then they buffed it, and then apparently, I don't know how true these rumors are, but I keep seeing it. Apparently, it was an accident. How do you accidentally buff a card like this? I don't know. But enough about that. But I just wanted to, you know, give my 2 cents on the situation. I think Lockdown is fine, but there are some surrounding elements, both in certain cards that Nilfgaard has access to, and also other leaders in the game that necessitate Lockdown, that make it so prevalent, and it being prevalent is not good. Lockdown is fine, but Lockdown being so good and so prevalent is not fine. So that's it. That's not really what this video was supposed to be about. But I kind of felt it was kind of relevant because I think that stuff is the main reason that I'm still struggling to enjoy the game fully and make enjoyable content. So, as a lot of you probably saw, a few days ago I made a video on a brand new game called Valheim. It's an open world survival Viking themed game, and I'm sure you know, some of you were concerned. I only got one comment asking, "Oh, no more Gwent then?" But I'm sure a lot of other people at least had the thought, you know, shared the thought that, "Oh God, is he quitting Gwent again?" And that's why I'm making this video, because I just want to explain the situation, just so we're all on the same page, just so you all understand what's going on behind the scenes in my head, how I'm approaching this. Valheim and other games that I may play on the channel are not replacing Gwent in any way. They're just a way for me to, you know, branch out a little bit, and of course do something a little bit different every now and then. But they're a way for me to keep making content, even when Gwent doesn't really present itself as that good of an option. So yeah, like during my 2-week break that I just took, like, yes, I missed Gwent. I missed playing Gwent, recording Gwent, and engaging with you guys about Gwent. But the thing I missed more was just doing YouTube, because I love recording videos, editing videos, and sharing them, you know, with people. And sorry, I just when I do these talking only videos, I tend to forget to catch my breath every now and then. What was I saying? Yeah, when the patch dropped, and I started realizing that okay, we're still not at a point where doing Gwent content is going to be very sustainable for me right now. I knew I needed something on the side. I needed a backup thing, because I don't want to take another 2-3 week break. Hope that the next patch fixes some problems that I have right now. So I figured, what, I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to start up a side thing. I saw Valheim. It seemed like a chill, relaxing game that fits the vibe that we tried to do here on the channel. And of course, me being a Norwegian with a majestic beard that is adored by many, I thought the Viking theme made it a sort of a fitting game. And, it's an early access. So it's not a well-established game yet. It's still very early on. I could get in early. And it's been getting great reviews. And I can see why, because it's really fun. But it's a side thing. It's definitely a side thing. I am still working on Gwent stuff every day. Trying to think of decks, trying to look up decks. Decks that are fun. And also functional, because that's become a bigger and bigger part of my approach here, is that it needs to be functional, because if it's not functional, it's not fun. Like, I want to show you guys stuff that actually works and is more interesting than what you normally see, which, that's an extra criteria, which makes it extra difficult, but it also makes it extra worth it when I actually do it. So I'm still working on decks and looking at all the new decks on playgwent.com every day. I'm thinking about topics to discuss and discussion videos. Working on custom cards, custom reworks for cards, brand new custom cards. I'm still working on Gwent content all the time, and as soon as I have something, I won't hesitate to put it together and share it with you. But, and here's the big but, the big juicy but, it takes a while. With the state of the game right now, I can't do daily videos. I can't do videos every other day, maybe not every 3 days. It's gonna have to be whenever it's ready. And right now, at least for, the rest of this month. Maybe next month is different. Maybe the next patch is great and everything's fine. But for right now, the content does take a lot more time and a lot more effort. The Gwent content. So it's gonna be a bit scarce. And, the Valheim stuff is just a side thing. Like maybe 1 or 2 videos a week. Maybe the occasional stream. And it will never get in the way of Gwent. If I have Gwent content for you, I will prioritize that. Every time. But then, whenever Gwent, just isn't an option, that day, I'll maybe do Valheim instead. And because I know that there are at least some of you who really enjoyed that. You really like seeing me playing different games. And you really, you'd watch me do anything just because you're listening to me. You think I have a calm, chill vibe. You think I'm funny. So at least, for those of you who are willing to watch, again, I'm not gonna say willing, because it's not about being willing, but for those of you who would like to watch me do other things as well, I want to do those things, because then at least a few hundred of you still get content. When sadly I cannot make the content that the majority of you want. But again, and I cannot emphasize this enough, Gwent is still the main thing. Like my end game, you know, it's Gwent. It's always gonna be Gwent. And like this is still a Gwent channel mainly. But just, you know, for the foreseeable future, for at least the next few weeks, there's gonna be a less Gwent. But the end game is still, of course, to, you know, produce a bunch of Gwent content in the future when the game is in a more enjoyable state. Gotta catch my breath. Did I cover everything? I think I did. I just wanted to make this video just to make sure that, you know, we're all on the same page and you understand. You know, the sub count dropped a little bit when I made the Valheim video, and that's fine. I mean, of course that's gonna happen. And you know, if you still feel like you don't want to stay subscribed anymore after this video, perfectly understandable. Like, you do you. Like, that's the whole point of this system. If you don't want to follow me anymore, you're free to go. Thank you for joining us this far. But just, you know, for those of you who are okay with seeing the occasional video that isn't Gwent, but you still want to follow my Gwent content, you know, I just want to say that Gwent content, you know, it's the main thing I want to do. And, you know, as soon as things start picking themselves up again, there's going to be a lot of it. So, as long as you're okay with seeing the occasional non-Gwent video in your sub box as you're scrolling past, then yeah, we should be fine, right? I hope. I mean, I know that, you know, a lot of you, maybe most of you, but at least a lot of you don't watch every single video, every single Gwent video, which makes perfect sense. Like, if you don't like Scoia'tael, why would you watch a Scoia'tael video, right? And so I'm thinking, like, it's just going to be like that. Like, if you're one of those people who only watch Monsters and Nilfgaard videos, and whenever I upload Skellige, which I do a lot, you just scroll past it and you're like, I don't want to watch Skellige. You know, Valheim will just be like that. You see it and you just scroll past it because that's not what you're here for. But just know that the thing you are here for will return at some point. Depending on what it is. If it's Syndicate, you may have to wait a while because I'm terrible with that faction. Whew. That should do it. Short summary. I'm still playing Gwent. Gwent is still the main thing. But at least for the foreseeable future, the next couple of weeks, there's going to be less of it. But do not fret. Do not worry. My main intention is still to focus mainly on Gwent. Gwent-related content. And Valheim is just a side thing that will never replace Gwent. It's just, you know, going to be in addition to Gwent. It's going to be on the side, and it's going to be, you know, when I'm unable to do Gwent videos for whatever reason, there might be a Valheim video instead. So, yeah. I think I said what I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this clarified any questions you potentially might have had. I think I hope that most of you are okay with what's going on here, and that you kind of understood that just because I upload another game doesn't mean that I'm done with Gwent. I mean, you know me. Like, when I'm done with Gwent, or at least when I think I'm done with Gwent, I'll let you know. I have a tendency to let people know. But I am not at all done with Gwent. I'm not. I'm just turning my break. My pre-patch break has been extended into a pseudo break with some different content to fill in some time. That's it. Hopefully we're all on the same page now. We're all cool. And yeah. I hope to see you again soon. Either join us for some Valheim content, or I hope to see you whenever I do Gwent content next. I guess as a reward to those of you who watched this far, I can quickly let you know what I am working on within Gwent. I'm currently getting really into custom cards, mainly reworking cards that are either unplayable or that I think should be different. And right now I am tackling Skellige pirates and ships, trying to make them more powerful and more cohesive as an archetype, give them more identity. I got a couple of cards made up already. I'm not going to show them now. I'm going to save that for when I do a proper video for it. But just to let you know that I am definitely still working on Gwent stuff. And right now I'm just working on some pirate reworks. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. We're still in this. We're still fully in this. I'm having some issues with the current meta, the current balance, and some parts of the design philosophy of certain cards. But Gwent as a game, conceptually, mechanically speaking, I'm still there for it, man. Like my passion is still way up there. I still love what this game has done with the card game genre. I love Gwent. I do love this game. I'm just currently having some issues with some very fixable elements of it, which will hopefully only be short-term problems, and we'll be back to full-on Gwent soon. And as far as what you can expect of Gwent content when it does happen occasionally going forward, it's probably going to be more, custom card stuff and discussion videos, but you can definitely still expect gameplay. I do want to work on some decks, maybe some more shoop decks, just something fun, but also functional. Fun and functional is that's my type of deck. And I want to practice deck building. I want to get better at that, so I can really present you guys with some really fun decks, some cool decks that you can also actually play. So yeah, that's what you can expect going forward. Yeah. Well, let's see. I said I wanted this to be quick. But it's just a little bit over 20 minutes. That's fine. We're doing all right. But I'm gonna head out now. Gonna add some music to this and then upload it so you guys get to see it and hear my thoughts on things. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed a little update from me, and I hope I settled the score on some potential questions you might have, and I hope you're on board with what's going on here. And I hope to see you again soon. And until I do, have a good one. Alright? There's just a tiny baby fly. I hate them. Yeah, have a good one. I know that I'm someone who watches a lot of YouTube, and I have been watching YouTube for many years now for fun and enjoyment and entertainment, but also as a way to deal with stuff, depression, anxiety. Watching YouTube has been very therapeutic to me, and I know, based on some emails and some comments from you guys, that some of you get that from my videos, and first of all, I'm very happy to be able to provide that for people, because I know from personal experience and many years of it, I know how much that means. I know how how big of a deal that is. So I'm very happy to be able to provide that, and hopefully, you know, some Valheim content will be able to do that at least somewhat the same as Gwent content would. If not, then I understand, and I apologize. But you know, I am trying my best with Gwent. But I'm also trying to branch out a little bit and, you know, get some variety. I think we all could use that. Okay. Got a little bit serious there, but I mean, there's a reason I want to do YouTube. There's a reason I love doing this and appreciate the fact that I'm able to. And a lot of that has to do with, you know, personal experiences. Pretty serious, you know, in tone. So, like, I get it. And I also know that a lot of you just watch for fun. And I get that too. Like, we all need some fun, especially, you know, in these trying times. Any fun and enjoyment we can get from each other especially is very important. So, use me for what I'm worth. And if I'm not worth anything to you anymore, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, my beard is getting longer by the day, I hope. So, I should always be able to provide at least that. Wow, I suck at saying goodbye. It's not even goodbye, I'm just ending a video. Alright. Hope to see you soon. Have a good one. Bye, guys.